Violence against Christians has been on the rise in India ever since the Hindu Nationalist Party, the BJP, came to power in 2014. That's according to the rights group United Christian Forum. It says there were more than 800 attacks on Christians last year, a nearly sevenfold increase in a decade. Among the victims are members of India's Adivasi community, many of whom converted to Christianity decades ago. Now, much of the violence is concentrated in India's Bastar region of Chhattisgarh state. TW correspondent Adil Bhatt traveled there to document the religious tensions and witness efforts by right-wing nationalists to push conversions to Hinduism.
These Hindu nationalists are on a mission. They're on their way to meet a local man who converted to Christianity some years ago. And they are determined to undo it.
Why did you leave your Hindu faith to become a Christian?
I was very sick. Christian missionaries came here and stayed for a few days to treat me. That's when I became a Christian.
Duri Beti belongs to India's Adivasi community, many of whom live as Christians. They're a thorn in the eye of the Hindu nationalists. Duri tells us off camera that today's visit is not the first by right-wing Hindu groups. He says he has faced pressure for months to return to what they call his original faith.
We oppose conversion to Christianity. If people convert to Christianity, then in such a situation, our ancestral traditions, our gods and goddesses, our land will be ruined. And after our culture is destroyed, we won't be able to live in those conditions.
So the local politician and his men are taking action. The group say they have converted a dozen Christian families to Hinduism in the past month, and they are patrolling remote villages on the lookout for more. It's a part of a wider crackdown on religious freedom in this part of India, as the son of a late Christian pastor can attest. When Ramesh Baghel lost his father last year, he made arrangements to bury him in the village cemetery, like all his ancestors. But on that day, he says, villagers and local authorities blocked the funeral. They even restrained him from burying his father on his privately owned land. Ramesh appealed to local authorities, and he even went to court.
I beg you, please give me some place to bury my father.
But it was to no avail. Today, Ramesh's father lies buried 25 kilometers away from his ancestral home.
All of this is happening because of this campaign to make India a Hindu nation. Several Hindu priests have visited our state and openly urged our chief minister to close down churches here. They speak about it openly. It's clear that the BJP government always supports those who promote this kind of ideology.
The current crackdown on Christians is concerning and new, says the pastor of the region's oldest church.
There used to be no fighting here. There were no sectarian tensions. But now the Christians are being made to feel that they don't have a right to live here, that they belong to a foreign religion. And the Hindu right wing are snatching away their rights. That's what's happening in our village. People live in fear.
Ramesh Baghel takes comfort in the fact that he still has his Christian faith. Many others had to give it up.
All those people who have converted to Christianity, we have to bring them back.
Back in Duriviti's village, under the watchful eyes of the local BJP leader, a traditional convergence ceremony gets underway. A Hindu priest splashes Duri with sacred water, a ritual to purify Duri's soul of his perceived sins. The Hindu nationalists call it a homecoming.
Today you have finally been converted back to your original faith.
Duriviti is now officially a Hindu, whether he wants it or not.
Let's take a closer look with Reverend Vijayesh Lal. He joins us from Delhi. He's the General Secretary of the Evangelical Fellowship of India. Welcome to DW. In your opinion, are Christians free to practice their faith in India?
Thank you for having me here. This question cannot be answered in a simple yes or no. There are parts in India where there is absolute freedom, and then there are parts in India where Christians are not free to practice their faith, particularly the states wherein you have these anti-conversion laws, states like Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, where you did the story from, Orissa, Jharkhand, Haryana, and we can name a few others, including Karnataka. So
what is
how the
life like for
situation is.
Christians in these states that you just mentioned?
Attacks happen almost on an everyday basis. We've been monitoring these attacks. I'm talking about the Evangelical Fellowship of India since 1998. Yesterday, we registered 5 attacks. This morning, there was an information of another attack in the same area where you made that documentary. So attacks happen on an everyday basis. Earlier, we were told you stay inside your churches and you do whatever you want. I'm talking about the late 1990s. Now we are not even safe in the sanctity of our own homes. Birthday parties are being attacked. A casual visit to a friend's house can end up in the police station. Things are bad and getting progressively worse so.
What do you think is the cause of the growing violence against Christians?
The violence against Christians is symptomatic of what is happening in the country. The country is being changed. India is no longer the India that it was 20 years ago. India has changed, and the change has not been for the better. Behind it is a particular ideology that treats religious minorities, or at least advocates to treat religious minorities as second-class citizens. Our persecution is a direct consequence of that particularly ideology being politically empowered. Then there is this whole bogey about conversion, which is a very convenient bogey. Statistics don't say that Christian percentage has been increased. The census is going to be conducted. Let's see if this is any different. But conversions are a very convenient bogey for the Hindu right wing to target just about anything. And these anti-conversion laws make it even more difficult. They are being misused in states like Uttar Pradesh, in states like Chhattisgarh, whose report you've just shown to us. And so these are some of the factors that contribute. And social polarization and religious polarization has happened to such an extent, I would say hatred has been normalized. And this is a result of this particular polarization that has happened in the country.
That was Reverend Vijayesh Lal from the Evangelical Fellowship of India in New Delhi. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.